Hello my dear students, I welcome you all one more time on my YouTube channel Curious Physics. So today I am going to start the second part, or you can say the second lecture of this particular chapter, alternating current. Okay, in the previous lecture we have studied the basic concept, what is the meaning of alternating current and what is the meaning of alternating voltage. Okay, after that we have studied the basic concept, or you can say the phase relation between current and potential in a pure resistive circuit, in a pure inductive circuit, and in pure capacitive circuit. Okay, we have also see the what is the meaning of root mean square values of potential and currents, and what is the basically the power loss in pure resistive, inductive and capacitive circuits. Okay, so today's topic is the basically the series combination of LCR circuit, which is nothing but the combination of inductive, capacitive and resistive circuit. Okay, so in this section the basic circuit is like this. This is the resistance, let's say this is the inductor, and let's say this is the capacitor, and these particular parts are connected to a alternating voltage, is connecting to alternating voltage. This is resistance, this is inductor, and this is basically capacitor. Okay, and in this particular circuit, this particular you can see the source of alternating potential. You can say V is equal to Vm sin omega t, and let's say I current is passing through this particular circuit. All the resistance, inductor and capacitor are in series. Inductor, capacitor and resistance are in series. So in series combination, you know that the current will be same. The same current will pass through resistance, the same current will pass through inductor, and same current will pass through a capacitor. Okay, so but we know the relation that in a pure resistance, or you can say when this particular potential the potential across a resistance, there will be no phase difference between current and potential. And if the potential across inductor, there will be a phase difference of pi by 2, and in case of inductor, current is lagging behind the potential, and in case of capacitor, the current is leading the potential by a phase difference of pi by 2, which we have already studied. Okay, so according to Kirchhoff's law, this potential, if you want to apply the Kirchhoff's law in this particular circuit, then we can write V is equal to, the V is basically is nothing but the supplied potential, is equal to I into R plus L di by dt plus Q by C Are you able to understand my point? Are you able to understand the basic concept or not? Okay, this is the potential consumed across the resistance, this is the potential across the inductor, and this is the Q by C is the potential across the capacitor, and in which you can also write this is you can say this particular is also IR can be written as VR, the potential across resistance, this is VL across inductor, and VC across capacitor. Okay, if you want to draw a phasor diagram between these potentials, then let's say I is the current, and I is, if all the combinations are there, let's say phi is the phase difference between potential and current. The potential and, you can say, phase difference between the you can say the current passing through, the value of current, I can write I is equal to Im sin omega t plus phi. Are you able to understand my point or not? Phi is the phase difference between current and potential. If you want to draw phasor diagram, let's say this is the vertical axis, this is the second. If you want to, let's say VR, I is the current. If I is the current, then potential, you can say potential across resistance and current are in same direction, and let's say this is the value of VC and this is the value of, you can say, VL. This is the value of VL and this is the value of phi, because in case of capacitor, current is leading, so VC, if the VC is the potential, then the current, if I current is passing through the capacitor, then it is leading, and in case of inductor the current is lagging, and phi is the net phase difference, Are you able to getting my point or not? I is the net current and there will be no direct phase difference between the potential across the resistance and the current across the resistance. Are you able to understand my point or not? And in phasor diagrams, we have treated potential and current as vectors. If we have treated potential, and then this VL and VC always be in same line but in opposite direction, remain in opposite direction too. So I can write VL, this particular VL in this particular with the side of VC, or the potential across the particular capacitor, then the net potential, or you can say the net potential across this VC and VL will be VC plus VL. Okay, and their magnitude will be V, you can say VCM minus VLM, okay. And if you want to draw this particular in a vector form, this diagram in a vector form, you will see this is the value of potential across, this is the value of VRM, potential across the magnitude of potential across resistance. This is the value of VCM minus VLM, because both are making an angle of 180 degree. So the net magnitude will be VCM minus VLM. Are you able to getting my point or not? And this is the value of net potential. This is the value of net potential. Are you able to getting my point or not? And this is the angle phi. Are you able to understand my point or not? Then according to Pythagoras theorem, you can write VM is nothing but VM is equal to VRM square plus VCM minus VLM whole square under root. This is according to the Pythagoras theorem. Are you able to understand my point or not? Okay, this is the basic concept. And if I am current, or the I current is passing through this particular circuit, then I can write IM will come out, because the value will be VRM square. So let's say IM is the current, so you can write IM is IM into IM square R square plus, let's say XC is the capacitive reactance, IM square XC whole IM minus IM XC minus IM XL whole square. Then IM can be, you can say, will be a common term, and under root R square plus XC, you will write XC minus XL whole square. Okay, and after you can compare, this is the potential, the net potential. Okay, you can say the maximum value of potential, and Im is the maximum value of current, If you compare this particular equation with, Ohm's law, you will get this particular term. Will behave as a total resistance. This term will behave as a total resistance offered by resistance offered in LCR circuit, and this particular resistance is known as impedance. Are you able to understand my point? And this is denoted by Z, and the units are ohm. The units are same as ohm. Are you able to understand my point or not? This is the basic concept. Okay, and the value of phi is nothing but value of phi. You can hear value of phi can be easily written as tan inverse of XC minus XL divided by R. Are you able to getting my point or not? So you will get the phase difference between current and potential in a combination of RLC circuit. And here you can say we have assumed that this circuit is you can say the value of potential across capacitance is more as compared to value across as compared to inductor. You can say this particular circuit is capacitance dominated circuit. You can say this circuit is capacitance dominated circuit. We have just dominated circuit, mean to say that XC is greater than XL. If XC is greater than XL, then what we can say? We can say in this particular circuit, the I will move ahead by a phase difference of phi with respect to potential, the net potential. If this circuit comes out to be inductive circuit, let's say if XL this is a capacitor, then I will move ahead, and let's say if XL is greater than XC, then I means current will lag by phi. That is phase difference. Are you able to understand my point or not? Okay. So this is the basic meaning how to you can say derive this particular net impedance, or you can say the net resistance across this particular LCR circuit. Are you able to understand my point or not? Next is this particular type of diagrams are given in your book. Let's say the first diagram we have just studied. Here the phase difference is nothing but phi. Are you able to understand my point or not? The phase difference is phi. VC is and VL are opposite direction. So we have converted into this because these are we have treated these terms as let's say these terms as vectors. So we have converted just like the Pythagoras theorem. This is the magnitude of this net potential across capacitor and inductor, and VRM across resistance. You will get the value of phi, value of phi and Z. Just we have discussed this particular here. Okay, are you able to understand my point or not? And this is the capacitive circuit, means I is moving ahead of V, net V, by phase difference phi, and here this is the current and this is the potential. Okay, mean to say that the potential will start first and the current will come after. Are you able to understand my point or not? This is the basic concept, or you can say we have derived the basic concept of impedance, the total resistance offered in LCR circuit, and how to use the phasor to find that particular the, you can say, the particular value of you can say impedance. Okay, and another term way you can say that this is the total, let's say this is the diagram, this is the total impedance, the total resistance, this is R, and this is XC minus XL, the magnitude, because the square of minus and positive will come out to be, and this is phi. And one more thing, Z cos phi is nothing but R. From this particular diagram you can say that Z cos phi or impedance cos phi is equal to R. Are you able to understand my point or not? Next is resonance. Resonance is nothing but, it is the frequency, it is the natural frequency, it is the frequency, it is the frequency, it is the natural frequency of oscillation, or you can say the natural, it is the frequency in which magnitude, or you can say amplitude is maximum, Okay, so in case of this AC circuit, the resonance is the situation, in case of this alternating currents, it is the situation in which the current is maximum, so it is the position, it is the situation in which the current is maximum, or the amplitude, or you can say amplitude of the current is maximum. Are you able to understand my point or not? Because the maximum amplitude is, because in this, the AC alternating currents, the current is moving in the form of a wave. So at a particular frequency, at a given frequency, the maximum current will take place, or you can say the amplitude of the current will be maximum. Here we know that the Im, the maximum value of current, is given by Vm, the maximum value of potential, divided by Z. Z is nothing but impedance. And Vm is, this is equal to Vm divided by under root R square plus XC minus XL whole square. Are you able to getting my point or not? If you want to get the value of maximum value of current, this particular value in denominator should be minimum. This should be minimum. If you want to get the maximum value of current, this value should be minimum. Mean to say that this value should be minimum, then this XC minus XL should be minimum, because you cannot change R. So you can change difference, then XC minus XL, you can say XC minus XL is equal to 0. XC minus XL is equal to 0. Then value of XC is 1 minus omega C, and this is omega into L is equal to 0. You will get 1 by omega C is equal to omega into L. Omega is nothing but angular speed, and you can write omega is equal to 1 by under root L into C, and omega is nothing but 2 pi into frequency is 1 by under root LC, and frequency will come out to be 1 by 2 pi under root LC. Are you able to understand my point or not? And this frequency will be the resonance frequency, the natural frequency at which the current will be maximum. Are you able to understand my point or not? This is the value of frequency. Okay, are you able to understand my point or not? Okay, and resonance frequency will take place. Only in LCR circuit, because at that particular circuit you can basically mean to say that you can make omega xc is equal to xl. Xc is equal to xl only take place in LCR circuit. LCR circuit in series. LCR circuit, you cannot get this value in pure resistive, inductive and capacitive circuit, or the other combination only L and R, only C and R, and only in. Okay, so are you able to understand my point or not? Okay, this is basically the situation. This frequency, or you can say this omega, the amplitude of current is maximum. The current is touching the maximum value. You can say amplitude is maximum. Why? Because at this situation, these two situations, the frequency is resonative frequency. Are you able to getting my point or not? Are you able to understand the basic concept or not? Okay, next is the question is, a resistor of 200 ohm and a capacitor of 15 microfarad are connected in series to a 220 volt 50 Hz AC source. Calculate the current in the circuit. If you want to find the current, then according to Ohm's law, you have to find the total resistance. And in case of LCR circuit or other combination, you have to find impedance. The impedance will be nothing but R square plus XC minus XL whole square. This is the value. Here the R is given. R is nothing but 200 ohm, I think. Here XC and L is not given, so XC is 2 pi. XC is value of XC is, you know that, 1 by omega C, 2 pi frequency into C, and this value will be 1 by 2 into 3.14, and frequency is 50 and capacity is 15 into 10 raised to power minus 6. So value of XC will come out to be value of XC. Value of XC will come out to, this is the value of XC. Now the value of, if you put the value of this here, you will get the value of net impedance, and the net impedance will come out to be 291.67 ohm. 291.67 ohm. And the value of then the calculate, first is calculate the current in the circuit, then the I will be nothing but calculate the I, then I will be nothing but total potential divided by total resistance according to Ohm's law, and after dividing you will get 0.755 ampere. B part is calculate the voltage across the resistance. Then the voltage across resistance is nothing but I into R, and voltage across capacitor, I guess, is value will be I into XC. Value XC, and XC is nothing but, we have derived this particular, find the value, and I into R, I into 0.755 into 200, the value will be nothing but value across the, this will be 151 volt, and VC is 160.3 volt. These are the values of potential across resistance and potential across capacitor. The potential across capacitor, this is basically simple calculation. Now next part is the algebraic sum of these voltages is more than the source voltage? Yes, if you algebraically solve the value of, let's say, VR plus VC is equal to 151 plus 160.3, then the value will come out to be approximately 311 volt. Okay, but you have seen that the angle between the potential across resistance and the potential across capacitance cannot be add directly. You have to add them vectorially. You have to get the value, and this value is more than the potential applied 220 volt, and which cannot be possible. Mean to say that if the supplied voltage is 220 and the potential across, the sum of the potential across is 311, which is not possible. Mean to say that we are doing a mistake, and the basic mistake is the angle between. We have to add these potentials vectorially, and the vectorially V will be nothing but, because angle is 90 degree, means according to Pythagoras theorem you have to write VR square plus VC square. Then VR square will be nothing but under root 151 square plus VC means 160.3 square. You will get approximately 220 volt, which is the value of applied potential. Are you able to understand the basic point or not? Okay. Next is power in an AC circuit, or you can say the power factor. The power factor in a LCR circuit. In LCR circuit, we know that the power loss across the pure resistive circuit is nothing but the power in a pure resistive circuit was Vrms into Irms. In a pure inductive circuit, the power loss is 0, and in a pure capacitive circuit, power loss is also 0. Okay. Kindly keep these particular concepts in your mind. Okay. Let's say V is the current potential supplied by a battery, and the value is Vm sin omega t, and I is the value of current Im sin omega t plus phi. Phi is the phase difference, because we are finding the value, we are using this particular potential and currents in LCR circuit. So there will be a, let's say, a phase difference of phi. Then what will be the power consumed? Then power is nothing but power. The value of power is V into I. V into I means Vm sin omega t into Im sin, okay, this is sin omega t plus phi. If you solve this, you will get Im, just simple trigonometric thing, Vm Im by 2, you will get cos of phi minus cos of 2 omega t plus phi. Cos of 2 omega t plus phi. If you want to get the average value of power in a cycle, average value, this is nothing but the average value of power consumed in a complete cycle, then you have to find the average value of cos phi, and this because cos phi is independent of time, and then you have to find the average value of this term. You have to find the average value of this function, and the average value of this function will come out to be 0. Then the power is nothing but Vm Im cos phi divided by 2. Are you able to understand my point or not? So power consumed, you can also write Vm by under root 2 and Im by under root 2 cos phi, and you can also write Vrms into Irms into cos phi. This is power consumed in a particular LCR circuit. Are you able to understand my point or not? Okay. So here, what is cos phi? Then the power depends upon also this cos phi, and phi, you can find the value of phi. We have just find phi is nothing but tan inverse of xc minus xl divided by r. This phi, this particular cos phi is known as power factor. Are you able to understand my point or not? The value of power consumed depends upon the Vrms, Irms and cos phi. This Vrms can directly be written as V into I. cos phi. Are you able to understand my point or not? Are you able to understand my point or not? You can also write here what is the value of V. V is nothing but I into Z, I square Z. Z is impedance, the total resistance offered by this LCR circuit, into cos of phi. This cos phi is nothing but the power factor. Okay, are you able to understand my point or not? Now, this is also power, but the power factor is cos phi. Power factor is cos phi. Are you able to understand my point or not? Okay, so we have basically 3 to 4 type of circuits in which we have to find the value of cos phi. First one is pure resistive circuit. First one is pure resistive circuit. And in case of pure resistive circuit, the total resistance is R, means the value of Z, and the angle between potential and current is 0. So here the cos phi is equal to 1. Cos phi is 1 because phi is equal to 0. The angle between potential and current is 0 in pure resistive circuit, and that's why the maximum power consumed or lost consumed in this kind of in resistive circuit. Are you able to understand my point or not? Second type of circuit is pure inductive and capacitive circuits. And we have discussed in case of capacitive and inductive circuit, the power loss is 0 because the angle between current and potential is pi by 2. The angle between current and potential is pi by 2. So phi is pi by 2. The power factor and cos phi is equal to 0. Cos pi by 2 is 0, means the net power loss is 0, and which we have already studied in the case of pure inductive and pure capacitive circuits. Are you able to understand my point or not? Okay. Next is, are you able to understand? Next is third one is nothing but LCR. Other combinations, you can say other combinations like CR, LC circuit, or simple LR circuit. These are the combination. At that particular circuits, the value of phi is nothing but tan inverse of XC minus XL divided by R, and the power consumed across inductor and capacitor is 0. So this XL and XC will, you can say, will give you the net current, and power consumption only take place across the resistance. This is the most important line, because there is no power consumption across the inductor and capacitor in this circuit. The role of inductor and capacitor to basically provide the inductive resistance and capacitive resistance, which will basically alternate the current, which will change the, or you can say the, give the total value of current through the circuit, the total value of current. And next case is, and if second case, we have seen that there is no power loss in case of pure inductive and capacitive circuits. That's why the current, obviously the current will pass through these circuits, but there will be no power loss. That's why this type of current is known as voltless current. Voltless current means the current passing through a circuit, but there will be no power loss, there will be no power consumption, and that type of current only take place in pure inductive and capacitive circuits. Okay, are you able to understand my point or not? And last one is at resonance. At resonance, xc minus xl is equal to 0. Xc minus xl is equal to 0 because inductive resistance is equal to capacitive resistance, and at resonance phi is also 0. Phi is also 0, and z is nothing but r. The impedance is equal to r, and so at resonance the maximum and the power factor will cos phi will come out to be 1, and the maximum power consumption or power loss take place across power consumption only, power loss only take place across resistance. Are you able to understand my point or not? Basic understanding should be there. In any kind of circuit, if there is a power loss or power consumption in the form of heat, that only take place across the resistance. Are you able to understand my point or not? Okay, and if there is capacitor and inductor is present, the role of capacitor and inductor is to provide the inductive reactance and capacitive reactance. Mean to say that they will give the value of current and the value of, and z cos alpha, if you put the value z cos alpha is also resistance, z cos alpha, because we have written that the power loss is nothing but I square z cos alpha, and z cos alpha is nothing also but r, because we have defined here, if you remember not, this particular case, this z cos alpha is r. So power consumption always take place across the resistance. Are you able to understand my point or not? Okay, this is all about power factor. Simply the power is dependent upon phase difference between current and potential, Next is example 7.7. For circuits used for transporting electric power, a low power factor implies large power loss in transmission. Low power factor means power factor is nothing but, you can say, Vi or I square z cos alpha. If you want a low power factor, then cos phi will be low, and if you want to increase the power, you have to increase the current, and if you want to increase the current, then the heat can also increase. That means to say that power loss across this part by this relation I square RT. Okay, if you want to low power factor, then you have to increase the current. Are you able to understand my point or not? Next, power factor can often be improved by use of capacitor of appropriate capacitance. Why? If you want to reduce the net, if you want to improve the, you can say, power factor, and the power factor is nothing but xc minus xl. If you add a capacitor, what will be it give? It will basically you can say it will basically reduce the current. It will basically reduce the current, and the power factor will improve. Okay. Next is a sinusoidal voltage of peak value. Here the peak value is given, V peak value, or you can say maximum value, is 283 volt. So Vrms is nothing but 283 by root 2 volt. Okay, and frequency is 50 hertz. Is applied to a series LCR circuit in which R is 3 ohm, L is 25.48 microhenry, mean to say that 10 raised to minus 3, and capacitance is 796 into 10 raised to power minus 6 farad. Okay, you have to find the impedance of the circuit. Impedance of circuit is nothing but R square 3 square plus 3 square plus XL minus XC. XL value of XC 1 by omega C. 1 by omega C 2 pi frequency into capacity. The capacity is 796 into 10 raised to power minus 6. Value of V is, you have to, value of V will be 50. Value of V will be 50 minus omega L minus 2 pi V. V means you can say frequency 50 and L is nothing but 25.48 into 10 raised to power minus 3 whole square. You will get the value of Z. Value of Z will be come out to be 5. Are you able to understand my point or not? Next is the phase difference between the voltage across the source and the current. Phase difference will be phi tan inverse of XC. XC value of this value will come out to be, I think this value will come out to be, value of XC is 4. Value of XC is 4 and this XL will come out to be 8. Then the value will be 4 minus 8 divided by R. R is 3, mean to say that minus 5 by 3. And the value phi will be 53.1 degree. This is the phase difference. Next is what is the means. Here the value will be minus 53.1. Mean to say that what is the meaning of minus? The meaning of minus is mean to say that the circuit is inductive circuit. The net XL is greater than, here the given the XL is greater than XC. If XL is greater than XC, mean to say that in this particular circuit current is lagging. Mean to say that current is lagging by an angle of 53.1 degree by potential. Potential will lead. The net potential will lead. Are you able to understand my point or not? Next is the power dissipated in the circuit. Power dissipated is nothing but you can say that I square R, or you can say I square Z cos alpha. You can easily say that. And value of I is, here I is IRMS. Value I is IRMS and value of I is given by I is VRMS 283 under root 2 divided by Z. Z is nothing but 5. Z is total impedance is 5. So the current will be, the value of current come out to be 40 ampere. Then the power consumed is nothing but 40 square into R. R is nothing but 3. So 4800, 48 means 4.8 kilowatt. 4.8 kilowatt. Are you able to understand my point or not? If you use this formula I square Z, then you have to write in this formula, you have to write I, value of I is 40 square, Z, value of Z is 5, cos minus 53.1. After solving you will get the same value, because Z cos alpha is nothing but resistance. Are you able to understand my point or not? Next question is, suppose the frequency of the source in the previous example can be varied. What is the frequency of the source at which resonance occurs? The resonance is nothing, the frequency of resonance is 1 by, or you can directly, if you want to find the value of, you can easily find the value 2 pi into under root L into C. The value of L and C is given. Value of L and C is given in the previous question. You will get the value. Okay, in the previous question we have missed, I think, the power factor. The power factor is nothing but cos of phi. The cos of phi means cos of minus 53.1, and which will come out to be 0.6, which will come out to be 0.6. Okay, so the next, what is the frequency? Frequency is you will get, after solving you have to just directly put the value of L and C. You will get the value 35.4 hertz. Okay, calculate the impedance. Here the impedance is at resonance impedance XL is equal to XC. So directly you can say impedance is equal to R, which is equal to 3 ohm, which is equal to 3 ohm. And the current will nothing but, current is nothing but 283, sorry, 283 divided by root 2, which is VRMS divided by R. Now the impedance is 3. The impedance is 3. Now the current will increase 66.7 ampere. 66.7 ampere, and the power is nothing but I square R. I is 66.7 square into R3. You will get approximately 13.35 kilowatt, and this particular power dissipation take place across the resistance. And also in previous question, the power dissipation also take place across the resistance. The L and C only you can say only contributed towards the value of XC and XL. But in case of resonance, XC minus XL is 0. Okay, and also we have defined the resonance, the power dissipation is maximum, and in this case of LCR circuit, the power dissipation is 4.8, but at resonance the power dissipation is 13.35. okay, which we have already discussed in these 4 different cases. These particular 4 different cases, the power dissipation when power factor is 1, the maximum will take place across the resistance. Okay, at an airport, a person is made to walk through the doorway of a metal detector for security reasons. If he is carrying anything made of metal, the metal detector emits a sound. Mean to say that at general condition, that particular security gate consists of so many coils. Okay, mean to say that that particular security, for you can say, for simple terms, the security gate is at resonance. This is in the condition of resonance. Okay, when a person is passing through that particular gate, it will change if that person has a metal, it will change the impedance of the material of the circuit, change the impedance of the circuit. And if the impedance of the circuit will change, then you can say the current will change. And if the current will change, then you will get the you can say you will get a loud sound, and that particular metal can be detected. Okay, but the basic fundamental is the gate was initially in the condition of resonance, and if you enter with the metal, it will change the impedance of the circuit, and indirectly change the value or amplitude of the current, and you will get you can say the metal detector emits a sound. Okay, so in this way you can find these particular the metals. Okay, so the remaining portion will be, we will discuss the remaining part in next time, and the topic we will cover in next part basically is the transformer and the NCERT examples. Okay, so I hope you are getting all the concepts very clearly, and the basic idea is you have to revise all the chapters. In physics, all the chapters are interrelated. You have to just focus how these particular terms are related. And one more thing, for increase your marks in your board exam, you have to just write all the questions by your hand. You have to basically practice. You have to practice. Watching video is good, but the practice on paper you can it will increase your confidence, and you can get maximum marks in your board exams. Okay, so that's all from my side. Okay, keep practicing. God bless you. Take care. Bye bye.